Sure, absolutely. Got into sales at 19. I was a dishwasher and started started a business at 29. I went bankrupt. And, you live and you learn. You don't know what you don't know until you find out, ooh, could have done that differently. So I got into real estate at 30 and just took off. I couldn't believe, I was making four times my best income in real estate within 4 years. And I'm like, is this even legal? By 1999, I was making almost 400,000 a year. Spent 12 years at Remax, then almost 9 years, almost 10 years at Keller Williams, and then the last 6 7 years I found EXP, and it's just been, everyone says, "What's the difference between Remax and Keller Williams?" I go, "Nothing." I thought it was this, but when I got to Keller Williams, it was like, oh, okay, there's zero comparison to Remax. It is like they're in their own league, a league of their own. It was silly, but I was convinced I needed Remax because selling 400 homes a year. It must be the balloon above the crowd, and it wasn't. And then I went from Keller Williams to EXP, thinking, I'll give this EXP thing a try. Again, I didn't see them as much different. And then it was times 100. It wasn't a league of their own. It was a universe of their own. And I've never looked back. It's been life changing. Today, I've got about 45,000 agents in my organization in 24 countries. And so, I never thought about Hong Kong or South Korea or Japan or Tokyo. And so when you join EXP, the world is your oyster. And so, that's my story. And the whole thing is wrapped in love and energy and hunger. And Tony Robbins says, if you got hunger, baby, that's your best asset. If you're hungry and you're just like, I'm sick and tired, I'm sick and tired, I'm gonna do something about it. Oh, now you're cooking with gas. So that's the hunger and the willingness to take action. And then you put energy and you don't worry about how you look. Well, I might say it wrong, do it wrong, look foolish. Yes. Everybody looked Tiger Woods looked like when he played so young, but he made his mistakes. Watch highlights of Tiger Wood duffs and chunks, and where he put it in the lake and he chunked a chip. I watched Patrick Mahomes at the Edgewood at Lake Tahoe chunk a chip. It went 4 feet. Just everybody laughed. He laughed, and he's like a human being. But when you see him on the football field, he looks like a god. Patrick Mahomes chunks. And so we all chunk, but we look at everyone. So when you see me, you see the success. But what you need to do is you got to see the grinding and the loving. Do it with a smile on your face. Wipe the blood off your face, the sweat off your forehead, and then enjoy the victory, the sweet taste of success. And I'm going to give this back to you, Frank, but I'll say this. Man, here's how you do it with longevity and purpose and meaningfulness. Take your calendar, live by your calendar. What goes in it first? God. Hopefully you're a man or woman of faith. Put Bible studies and women's Bible studies. Or if you're a guy like me, men's Bible studies or couples retreats. Once a year, maybe your church does one. Go. We've always been married 34 years. I didn't get here by accident. Men's camp. I'd say, I don't have time for men's camp. You're not making God a priority then. It was easy to go to men's camp. It was in my calendar. I'm going. All hell can be raking. And promise me, when you go on vacation, when you do something like a Tony Robbins event or a John Maxwell event or Ed Milet event, all hell will line up and break loose. Your car will break down. The kids will, do something crazy at high school. I mean, your wife's going to yell at you. Your husband's going to yell at you. Life comes against you. It means you're on track. But I put God in my calendar first. Then I put my family. Now, when I say family, it's my wife. I did not marry my children. I married my wife, and then we had kids. So my wife gets the second spot. I highly, highly recommend that you make your husband or your wife number two, right under the Alpha and the Omega, right under God. So God first, then your wife, then your kids. Your kids need to see mom and dad are tight. They're on the same page. I see a lot of times where the guy's making the money, the wife runs the home, and they kind of tolerate each other. But they don't see dad madly in love with his wife and bringing energy to his wife like he does like that energy Nate just explained for his team, man. You just coming home with flowers right there, right? And and it's not the flowers, it's what flows. You don't have to come home with flowers. You come home with intention and your best. You say, it's like Jesus. He made the best wine at the end of the wedding, which never happens. You bring your best to your family, not your least. And then you can do, after that, you can do fitness, start your day out. I worked out today. I'm eating right, all these things. And so you do that. And then comes business. Well, there'll be no time to work. That is simply not true. That is simply not true. So fill those things in your calendar. Then, oh, ooh, knocked my laptop over. It's going to be a good day. So then live by your calendar. Do what it says to do. Living by your calendar is like a child cleaning their room. It's like your teenager mowing the backyard. When you don't live by your calendar, it's like your child saying, I didn't clean my room, and I'm not going to clean my room. And here's all the reasons why. Why didn't you prospect? Because your calendar said you're supposed to prospect? Well, because of this, and this. You're like a child. Dad, I didn't mow the lawn. Why? Because my friends called. We left early for the lake. That's sweet. You don't get to go to the lake till the lawn's mowed. It's called being a man. But somehow we give ourselves a pass. Well, I'm not a child anymore. I'm a man. You're a man child. I'm calling you out. And guess what? I'm a man child too sometimes, right? I struggle right now. Finances, great. Business, great. Relationship, great. Kids, great. Weight, fitness, not great. I'm struggling right now. I hurt my back in October, got sick in November, started eating too much good food, but I'm back on the wagon and I'm doing something about it. But don't look at me and say, oh, his life's perfect. It is not perfect. You will, and it just struggle. I'm sorry. You're not going to reach a part where there's no more trials and tribulations. For you, it may not be your health. I mean, look at Nate. He looks like a god, but it may be your finances, or it may be your health, or it may be your teenage son or teenage daughter that desperately needs dad or mom to show up in a meaningful, deep way. And sometimes that's just loving them. When it's not coming back, they roll their eyes and think you're absolutely retarded. Okay. You love and love and love and love. And that's just a test. It's a test to see you're going to love them anyway. Oh man, I'm so excited. Anyways, I don't even remember what you said to me, Frank, but I'm going to give it back to you. I'm sorry. I just kind of went off.
No, Brent, you have carte blanche on this call, believe me. So let's talk about the company for a little bit, because I know that they've gone through a lot. God, I remember when I joined, it took 5 weeks to move my license over. I mean, I can tell you horror stories after horror stories, and you've got more of those because you deal with more people. But I think what's interesting is EXP was the first iCloud brokerage, and now there's 23 of them. That's because everybody copied us. Everybody is EXP perfect? Absolutely not. I'll tell you what, it's the best thing I've seen, or I wouldn't be here. All of you are recruited every day by Epic, by Real, by LPT, by Keller Williams, but you're still here. I'll tell you, we've seen a lot, but man, last week with the 2.0, I wanted to get your feelings on how you feel this is going to change the company that we're already so blessed to be in.
I love it. My first year at EXP, you just kind of got paid on everybody. They didn't have to sell homes. They didn't have to be in production. If you found someone with a license, you signed them up and they counted. So people, it was really easy to unlock levels 1, 2, and 3. Super easy. My rev share checks were $5,000 a month and $10,000 a month really quickly. Like my first revenue share check was 5. My second was 10. I never made less than 10,000 a month. Has that been your experience? So they changed it because it did create a problem. If someone fogged a mirror, they were in EXP, and like I thought about signing up my sister who hasn't sold a home in 20 years. It still hasn't sold a home, but she would count as one of the agents to unlock a level. And then I did sign up my dad, who was 82 and now he's 88. He's 88, so he's 81, and he doesn't do real estate, but it was kind of like confusing activity for accomplishments. So they rightly changed that to where, hey, they got to sell at least one home every 6 months, so we're gonna have some sort of a standard here. But even then, people struggled a little bit. So what they did was they've changed it to where you do get paid on levels 1, 2, and 3, period. You don't have to sign up people with a license. You don't have to resurrect the dead like Jesus did with Lazarus. You're going to get paid on all 3 levels. So what this does is it pushes money down to the group. People's checks are going to go from 700 to 1,700. from 1,700 to 3,700, and from 3,700 to 6 and 7 and 8,000 a month for really not doing much new. They've got the organization there, but now because they had 3 or 4, they weren't getting paid on tier 2. They certainly were getting paid on tier 3. Now they're going to get paid on tier 2, tier 3. So some people are going to literally start making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 a month. I've seen grown men and grown women cry. There are people who have 3, 4, 500 in the organization, but they lost faith in their ability to sponsor people, and they're not feeling financially successful from it. Now they're going to get paid on those people, and it will mean some of these people will make 10 and 15 and 20,000 a month, which is life-changing. By the way, when you give it to your spouse, your surviving spouse, or your kids, I added up mine. I have 2,000 people in my first 3 levels. They're going to get paid on 2,000 people. They can't necessarily be dad. My kids are different. I have a lot of kids. I have 8 kids, and there's not one of them is choosing to be a superstar salesperson dynamo yet. I have some doing sign language, and they want to be sign language teachers. And I have other that are in the computer industry and software and do software support, customer service. There's 400 employees at this one company. My son got voted most integrous and quality award. I'm very proud of that. But so he's not wired like his daddy, where if we're eating a popsicle, I want to beat you. I want to eat the popsicle first. It doesn't matter what it is. If we're walking in the car, I start walking quicker. Pretty soon it's a full-on sprint to the car just to beat you in the car. Some of you don't relate to that, but I mean, you're either competitive or you're not. I don't care if it's checkers or if it's fishing. I want to catch the fish first, and I want it to be bigger. And it's okay if you're not that way, but here's the deal. There's so much that can happen in this life if you love people and you got some moxie. So I forgot where I was going with my train of thought. Oh, well, but I'll give it back to you, Frank.
No, Brent, I was just your opinion on what the rev share check's going to do to the people who have stuck it out this long, who have stayed with us.
Yeah.
They had a chance to bail, and just where it's going. That was my original.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Brent, I'll tell you just one, Frank, this might help this morning, because, I've got the 40, 35 or 40, depending on the day on the team. Right. And I've never pushed rev share to my team because I never thought that they could sign enough frontline qualifiers. And then I would kind of bring down the level. So since Glenn changed it back, or Brent, you changed it back, right? You definitely had something to do with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was all me. I take full credit. I'm just
the motivation.
Glenn did that.
I just had my whole team on, and I'm like, look, guys, now we can talk about rev share. And I told the story how Sheila Farrajon sponsored you, and how there's this many in her top 3 levels. They are so motivated. They're like, you mean we don't have to personally sponsor all these people? I go, no, just go find one. Have courage and talk to as many as you can. Don't discriminate, but that one might sign somebody, and you could be set for life. And all your you would not believe the energy from this change that I'm seeing in my small world. So as we take it out everywhere else, it's just going to be so much better, better. So whatever part you did have in that, I want to personally thank you so much.
You're welcome, Nate. Thank you. And Elgin, I see you there, Elgin. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Thank you, Nate.
How you doing, Brent?
Awesome.
I also think, too, piggybacking off of something Nate just said, is that one of the big revelations for me with it was looking at the fact that however many people that you do have, and they'll come and go on those first 3 levels, just those first 3 levels are people that you have an opportunity to receive revenue share pretty much for the rest of your life. I mean, whether you recruit, quote unquote, agent attract, recruit, whatever you want to call it, whether you are selling or whatever yourself, that there is, as long as that line is being productive and you're helping those people in training and all the other kind of stuff, just there alone, just to imagine however many people it is that are in your first 3 lines, to know that you're going to get that opportunity for the rest of your life, or as long as the company has this in place. I mean, it's a crazy thought. It's actually a sobering thought, particularly if you've been doing it for a minute and you're working and you're grinding, and it goes up, it goes down. You're 20 FLQ age, you're 3, you're back to 15. You're going through all that stuff to get to a point where you know that there's a certain amount that is going to be there, like no matter what. I mean, for me, it was a very sombering thought which it just really even re-excited me, and I'm already excited all the time.
I love it. Great point, Eldon and Nate. Thank you. And so what they're talking about is if you had 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, that's got paid you on tier 2. Now it gets you paid on all the way to tier 4. 3 are open, 5 or more opens tier 4. If you sneak over that 10 mark and you get 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, that pays you on 5 tiers. That used to be 3 tiers. And the compounding really explodes on tiers, as you go. For example, if you sponsor 20 people on your front line, that's your tier 1, and they all do 2, just 2, that's 40. And if one of them does 20 of the 20, it's actually 60. And then on your tier 2, you have 60 people. And then if maybe 3 of the 60 go do 20, that's 60 more. And then those 60 all do 2, that's 120 plus the 60, it's 180 on your tier 3. So it goes 20, 40, 180. It just explodes. Then that 180, if everyone averages 2, you do the math, that's 360 on tier 4. How many does it take to unlock tier 4? 5 or more. To get paid on 360, you know what that is? $250,000 a year the rest of your life. And that's big money. And you have 5 agents or more on your front line that you're helping, and you're able to make like $250,000 a year. So there are some really powerful things. And then you have the money. I haven't thought about front lines in years and years and years and years. I have staff. It's their job to think about the front line. They have Excel spreadsheets. They know when people qualify, and I don't even think about it. I love the agents. If I'm stuff, they put me down as their sponsor, and I don't worry about it. Like I'm at 40, and if we drop into 30s, we call it red alert. It takes 30 to unlock all 7. And anything in the 30s is, we don't even get close to 30. It's just red alert. Everybody, battle stations, let's go. And that's really 3 people that pay attention to that, like hardcore. And so, which is James Stroop, his wife, Jenny, and Drew Johnson. That is their job. And Johnny, really, I have 4 people that do it. Johnny sponsors for me all the time. He runs my team. And so I don't think about it. I'm up at 40. And then those 40 told, I think I have, hold on, you guys got to see this. You got one. And while I'm looking this up, Frank, I want to give this back to you, but you got to see this picture. Because if you remember, I sponsored 40. They told people, I actually took a picture of it the other day. Let's see if I can find it. No, that was the wrong one. It's worth seeing if I can scan through my photos. Yeah, there it is. So I have 21,000 in my 7 levels, but they kept people in level 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It keeps going. I have 45,000 in my organization, but 21,000 I get paid on. But look at level 1. I did 40 the first year. Since then, 85. And they told 500, who told 1,300. So add that up, 508 plus 13 is 18. It's almost 1,900 plus agents. And so that's how it compounds. You imagine what level 4 looks like. It's huge, level 5, 6, 7. So the opportunity is bigger than ever. There are 20 million agents out there in the world. We have 90,000. We are first to market. While all those other brokerages Frank talked about, they're not thinking about Dubai or Israel or Lisbon, Portugal or Rome, or they're not thinking about the Philippines. We're grown in South America. They're just trying to survive in the US. They're trying to mimic us. First to market always wins. We are Airbnb. We are Netflix. We are Uber. We are Google. We are Facebook. We are the first to model with our model. We are going to be big and huge. They will always say, yeah, but we're new and exciting and we're going to be the next big thing. Maybe. All those companies were unicorn companies. We are a unicorn company. Good luck betting on your company being a unicorn company. Good luck with that. So you got the best, and we're going to hit that second wave of growth because of unlocking Revenue Share 2.0 and unlocking 2, 3, and then making it so much easier to get to tier 4, 5, and 6. It used to take 25 to get to tier 6. Now it's 15. That's a big change. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Huge.
There you go.
Let's move a little bit, and let's talking about how the regional rallies have kind of come about and what that has done for your organization.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jay and Ashley Nelson set those up, and People love them. We recognize a lot of production at the regional rallies. They're all over. You should go and attend them, support them. It's your business. Like, it's not my thing. Go. I go wherever I can and attend them. I've flown to Denver to attend them. Now I'll fly into regions. You should just attend the one in your region. Put it in your calendar, show up, be a part of it, clap, applaud. We want to recognize our producers, and so that's my advice to you. And I think when you recognize the people selling, I think that is a good thing. And I think EXP is really improving that. I think that's all our competitors have at traditional models, because they have no stock. They're not going to be stock in Remax or Keller Williams or Berkshire Hathaway or, Sotheby's, etc. But they can go, good job. And people love it. They actually live for that. And so we are improving in that area. By the way, if you haven't seen this, you can go to brentgove.com, and you've all heard of March Madness. Well, I created a Limitless Sales 2024 with May Madness, and all these locations are happening: Oak Grove, El Dorado Hills, Rockland, Castro Valley, which is East Bay, Bend, Oregon, Vacaville. I'm in Albany, Oregon. I couldn't even fit it on here. San Francisco. I did Hawaii. It's not on here. Pasadena, Roseville, and Minneapolis. But you go to brentgove.com, click on upcoming events, and it is pretty awesome. And then all the events look like this. We have digital flyers for every location, and these are all the speakers at each location. And so, yep, there it is. And so, by the way, that is an old flyer. Whoever's doing this, if you contact me, I will give you the new flyer. And if you're getting that off my website, thank you for letting me know. I will let them know that we need to update that flyer. Everything is accurate. One of the speakers changed, and we added some more speakers. So anyways, Chris, I saw you. Was that from my website?
No, Brent, it was from Eventbrite.
Okay, so I'll make sure I notify them to update that. Oh, Eventbrite, that's the one thing we're not up doing because it was too crazy. Okay, that's fine then. It was a long story. There's a lot of moving parts to doing 10 of these, and times 10 to 15 speakers, that's 115 speakers. We're going to rock it. Please come to Pasadena if you're in Pasadena. Nate had it right. It's going to be amazing. Please come. Elgin, you need to be speaking in Pasadena. We need to talk. I want you speaking. There's Oak Grove, there's El Dorado Hills, there's Roseville. The courage to act is all about agent attraction. All these locations are all about production, how to sell more, limitless sales, how to help buyers buy and sellers sell. The whole thing's production based, adding massive value, no attraction, except for one. The one I'm doing at the end of the month in Roseville is called Courage to Act. And if you have the money and the time, get on a plane, fly to Roseville. It's from noon to 2 p.m. on May 30th. And if you fly up, I will take you to dinner. I'll come spend some personal time with you for making the effort. Again, it's on my website, but Courage to Act, 12 to 2 is all about agent attraction. The whole thing. It's not about production. It's the only one of all those meetings. So fly up on Southwest, be there. You're all invited. Back to you, Frank.
Okay, I think it's time for some questions from the audience, being that a lot of folks don't have accessibility to you, and anything you want to have ask Brent. I see somebody with a hand up.
Yeah, Sean. Sean's got his hand up. Hey, Sean.
Okay, hey, man, I'm just listening to everything and just of course getting inspired. I'm from Sacramento, so like all the places that you're naming is like where I grew up, Roseville, Elk Grove, Laguna, like all those areas, that's like where I grew up. My mom lives in the same house that I grew up in since I was 5. And when it comes to rev share, I'm learning about this still. And I brought quite a few people. Well, not I brought a few people onto EXP, and so I'm just looking forward to like these dates. So I don't know if the dates have been shared already, but I just want to know what are the dates that you will be out there, because I'm going to be out there at the end of May. Actually, not this weekend, but yeah, the following weekend. So
Yeah.
I'll be out there in 2 weeks. And when it comes to rev share, I definitely want to take advantage of that, just like, with corporate America and stuff like that, and learning about, retirement and things like that. EXP has been the only brokerage that really has retirement for agents. And so
Right.
so I wanna continue to do that. But yeah, if you can share with me like any specific dates that I could look out for and
Watch what
try
I'm
to.
doing, Sean. Watch what I'm doing. BrentGove.com. You should be going here, all of you, because I put my stuff there. So there's my website. And then you come here and it's got upcoming events, real estate training, buyers and sellers, agent attraction, how to get brokers and independent agents, media, social media, podcasts, YouTube channel, upcoming events, click. And then right here, we got global events, we got local events, and then we got specifically, we created May Madness because we went all out. So there they are, Sean, Elk Grove. Let's click on Elk Grove because you mentioned Elk Grove. And there it is on the Eventbrite, and which is what Chris found earlier. And then it tells you it's Tuesday, May 14th. That's this Tuesday from 9 to noon, the Hilton Garden Hotel at this address. And you just do that, and there it is. So that is how you do it. And then you reserve your spot by clicking that. All my events are free. I do not charge for them. So I just want to say this. If you think, oh, I'm interested in this place in Castro Valley, which is by Pleasant, then whatever, here's Pasadena. And these are actually all the speakers in Pasadena. A lot of our speakers are speaking for 3 minutes. We have some people speaking for 1 minute. Hey, I'm with EXP. I just joined. I sold my first home. It's $1.4 million. I'm so excited. Everyone's been so helpful. I love EXP. Boom. There's a 30-second speaker, but it's going to move. It's going to have a lot of energy. If you bring people to these events, you will experience growth. If you don't, people tend to fall off. You got to get your people plugged in. You have to say, hey, come to these events. I'll meet you for coffee beforehand. Let's go to lunch afterwards. That's what a leader does. You get people to show up. And then I wanted to show you this, my new office for you, Sean. You're in Sacramento. Take a look.
I'm actually in Santa Clarita, but I'm from Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to find partnership, like with agents in the Sacramento area, because like I got like a few buyers right now qualified in that area, but of course, just getting down there is the dilemma, but not really a dilemma because I'm willing to go out there to
Yeah,
help.
we do events every single month in Sacramento. Every month we do events. It's under the Northern California stuff. Now the May Madness, I went from doing 1 to 10, like March Madness. I just said, I'm going to Pasadena. I want to connect with Elgin. I want to connect with Nate. I'm going down to Elk Grove. I want to connect with Aria. What's up, Aria? Good to see you, man. It's been way too long. I want to see Sid. I want to plug in. So I just freaking went out there and created all this, and we're doing it. So thank you. We're going to go to our next person, Sid, for the sake of time. Good question, Sean. Love it, baby.
Hey, Brett, I just want to say thanks so much. I mean, just your support and just this whole team in the winter circle has really, really helped me. And I just want to say thank you personally.
Dude, Sid, you're awesome, dude. I love you. You are a GOAT, greatest of all time, baby. I love it. You're the GOAT. By the way, you all have access to me every Tuesday at 1:30. I do the 1% Club. You're all invited. Zoom with Brent.live. Someone can type that in the chat. Zoom with Brent.live every Tuesday at 1:30 for 30 minutes. I talk about agent attraction. That's all I talk about. At 2:10 Pacific, I do Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. So if you want to be plugged into my world, that's how you do it. Every Thursday, if any of you are in Sacramento, come to the sales meeting. It started in 1999. I've been doing it for 25 years. Every Thursday from 10 to 11, come to my beautiful new office. And just for fun, I'm going to type this right here. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. You guys got to, here we go. Start over. Just open this. All my conference rooms are available to you. Restoration Hardware, energy people. It's
And what's the address, Brent?
almost over. Just cheers to the year ahead and the years ahead for loving each other to bright futures for God bless all of you. Thank you for blessing us. There you go. So that's in Roseville. You're all invited. That's open to everybody in all of EXP. It's I think 9 to 5, the office is open. If you want to fob nights and weekends, you can register for one of those. But it is awesome. And I just got that. If you're thinking, oh, if I had that, I'd be successful too. I just opened that. And I opened it because I had the money to open it. And I just want to do something fun. And it's really a global headquarters because we're going to 100 countries. And that's where I run my global empire of love. We have the love boat and we are adding value. And that's where it happens. The more you love, the more life is better. The less you love, the less happy you are. The size of the window you give through is the size of the window you get through. If you don't give when you have nothing, you won't give when you have a lot. And we're able to do amazing things today and I'll show up and meet needs when there's needs for $50,000, $100,000. Hey, done. Send the money. Go. How would you like to be able to do that? But it started when I gave $10 when I didn't have $10 and $50. If you don't give when you have nothing or a little, you won't give when you have a lot. Give $5 when you do what you can when you can to people in need. There's always somebody who's got it tougher, worser, if that's a word, worser. I like that word. Tougher, worser, harder. There, I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes till I met a man who had no feet. Somebody's got it way the hell more tough. Their marriage is worse than your marriage, and you thought yours was pretty bad. You ain't seen nothing yet. Their teenage son or daughter is right on the edge of, do I check out of this life? And I had a friend whose son took his life at 18. I've never seen a man in my life cry that hard. And so I'm begging you, if there maybe for some of you, if you get anything out of today's Zoom, go connect with your son or daughter who's ignoring you and thinks you're a moron. It's a desperate cry for help. Show up in their life and and when they ignore you and roll their eyes and think you're an absolute idiot, they're just saying, it's saying, please, dear God, love me. Show me that you love me when I'm at my worst. Don't you want people to have grace and mercy for you? I'm not saying that you say, oh, I'm glad you didn't clean your room, and I'm glad your car's a mess, and I'm glad you're drinking and driving. I'm not saying you endorse, but man, you gotta love them. When they wreck the car, are you okay? Not how's the car. Are you okay? Let me hold you. Let me love you. Then you deal with the car, maybe why it happened, what'd you learn from it down the road. The first thing is, are you okay? When your spouse, when your wife or your husband breaks, are you okay? So that's what's important. We replace the stuff. All right, Frank, back to you.
Okay, does anybody have any last questions before we wrap this up? Like I said, Brent is a very, very busy man, and we are honored to have him this morning. I'm blessed because I get to see him tomorrow and Wednesday and next week in Oregon. So we're going to have a good time, but does anybody have any last words for Brent?
Just a real quick. Sorry, I have a question.
Oh, I'll get you, Michael. Okay, go ahead. Ari.
Sorry for that. Great to see you as always. Just wondering, looking at our stock, and of course we are a agent-owned company. That means we all vested in our well-being of the stocks. I see the Scott, they're doing roller coaster. They're going up in value, then coming down. What is in store for EXP from your point of view? That is the next barrier, the next thing that EXP would launch that would really take it from like 10 to 100, and we all become multimillionaires.
Yeah,
what is that?
I think this new revenue share 2.0 is it. And I think you got to understand, this is the worst real estate market in 30 years, not for the public, for escrow, mortgage, and real estate people. The closings have been cut in half. Most people's incomes have been cut in half. When you take someone's income from whatever they were making, you reduce it by 50%, it is financial devastation for most people. So this is a really difficult time. Now, the stars are actually making as much or more money than they've ever made, but they're well established, and the stars are the stars. That's like 10% of the market. The other 90% are suffering. So right now, let's be honest, the tide has gone out. We're looking at the bay. There's shopping carts that drunks threw in the bay. There's stolen bicycles and boots in the bay. There's some fish flopping in the muddy flats. It stinks. It looks bad. The tide has gone out. The bay is exposed as a muddy salt flat, and it is not attractive. So that's the market we're in. And so real estate stocks have tanked, all of them across the board. And so when this market comes back, you're going to see our stock explode. 2.0 is the beginning. I mean, if you look at it today, we're up at $13 a share, back to a $2 billion valuation. We're going to grow. And so as we grow out of this market, maybe another 6, 12, 18, 24 months, whatever it is, what you focus on expands. Tell me why you can, not why you can't. Go out and if you're talking about it's tough, it's hard, it's tough, it's hard, guess what? It will be tough and hard for you. But if you go, man, I got this, I'm loving people, I'm different, and you bring energy and you put in massive action and it creates results. When you get the #1 coach in the world, Tony Robbins, say massive action creates results. You know why? Because you quit being horrible. Because, well, I don't want to say stupid things. The only way to get better and become an expert salesman or woman is to say stupid stuff with velocity. So you go, okay, every time I say that, it doesn't work. But when I say this, it goes pretty good. And when I say this with this kind of and you start getting the nuances, right? And all of a sudden, man, they bob, you weave, they zig, you zag. It's like a dance, like a waltz, and you become better at your craft because you sucked so bad, but you did it again and again and again and again in a short period of time. You need to go suck 20 times today, and then do that 5 days a week. That's 100 a week. That's 400 a month. You will be freaking awesome in about 2 or 3 weeks. You will be awesome. And I'll say this. So you want to ask 20 people today, do you know anyone thinking about buying or selling a business? Did you get that? Did you write that down? Do not stare at me. Do you know anyone thinking about buying or selling business? You're a commercial agent. How many of you are commercial agents? You're all commercial real estate agents. Oh, I'm not a commercial agent. You're crazy. You're a commercial agent. I don't do it. Yes, you do. You have a partner. His name is Paul Frank. He sold billions. He's an EXP agent in Oak Grove. My partner's Paul Frank. I don't know him. Call him today. Take some initiative. Google him and say, Brent Gove says I need to meet you. Talk to him for 2 minutes and go, this is my partner. I'm the real estate expert. He's the commercial expert in our partnership. And then Paul can do commercial anywhere in the United States. He's sold wineries. He's sold buildings. He's freaking amazing. First word out of your mouth. Do you want to think about buying or selling a business? People buy Chevrons, dry cleaners. They sell wineries. They sell manufacturing things. And the commissions are $1 million, $500,000. The $1 million commission is a $250,000 referral fee. But you're not a commercial agent? Come on. And so do you want to think about buying or selling a business? Do you want to think about buying or selling a building? You know, I'm in my forever home. Not interested in buying a home, not interested in selling my home. I'm in my forever home. But if you said, do you know anything about buying or selling a building? Well, yeah, I'm an optometrist. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My practice started in West Sacramento. We've moved to Folsom, El Dorado Hills, Loomis, Newcastle. The commute is killing me to sell the building. I think it's worth about $2.5 million. And then buildings out where I live out in El Dorado Hills, Folsom, they're double. They're like $5 million. So I need to buy one for $5 million, sell one for $2.5 million. That's $7.5 million. Because you quit saying you don't even think about buying or selling real estate because you're not a commercial agent. The last thing you say, do you know when think about wants to buy or sell a home? And you do that 20 times a day. You will trip over the business. By the way, I taught this last Thursday. Aaron Rawls went out and did it immediately. He picked up a business that's for sale for $1.9 million. The commercial commissions are bigger. And then he's partnering with the commercial agent. He gets half. He doesn't know how to do it. You don't have to do it. The value is like, here's my client. Please sell their business for $10 million. Here's my client. Please sell their building for $20 million. That is worth 25%. It's worth 50%. And then you're going to go do all the work and I'm going to get paid because you have the most valuable thing, the client. But you're not asking. Start asking. I think I went off topic there. I'm not even sure where the topic went.
Michael, you had a question.
Yes, I've been going back to Michael.
Yeah, just a question, a little statement and everything. But Brent, known you forever, I love how involved you are in your drive of everything. Is just keeping everybody plugged in and just maintaining everything. So I've seen growth with myself and everything. And we're doing a little get together workshop coming up this Thursday. We have a lot of new agents, and I wanted to get any advice that you'd have talking to agents. One of the big things we're going to be focused on is open house. And I know that you kind of built your business on open houses. Do you have any advice, a little tidbit, a little drop that I can drop in?
Yeah. Go to brentgove.com, click on agent training, click on open houses. I trained at the Placer County Board of Realtors. Someone went FaceTime live. It's posted there. It's been seen thousands and thousands of times. It's how I sold over 400 homes a year. When I sold 427 homes, 318 were people we met from open houses that year, not my career. We did that year. 318 strangers bought and sold through us. And so I teach in 90 minutes how to do it. Watch it one time, write down the nuggets, take what you don't like, leave it, leave what you don't like, take what you like, and then train that at your how to do open house thing, and add it to your secret sauce. Anything like, oh, that's great. I didn't think of that. So that is my advice on the open house thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll see you in Pasadena.
You bet.
All right, you guys, let's wrap this up. Brent has got to go. I want to thank everybody for being on here. Nate, Elgin, Michael, myself. We try to bring big value to you guys once a week. And I think today we delivered. Would you agree?
More than delivered. Yes.
Frank, you're a great leader, Frank. I love you. I'm excited to go golfing with you next week in Bend, Oregon. We're going to have a great time. The rest of you, I cannot wait to see you at one of the upcoming events. Reach out to me anytime if I could jump on a Zoom. David Savalos, If I can help you do a Zoom, I'm watching you guys. You think I ain't watching you guys? I'll see you guys. Send me a text message. Go, hey, I got a major player. I got a real. Don't send me a brand new agent. It's probably not the best use of my time. I don't hope that sound conceited or arrogant, but save me for a capping agent or someone with a team or a brokerage or someone. Save me for that person, right? But not the new ones. But my cell phone is 916-223-5555. Maybe someone could type that in the chat, 916-223-5555. And I'd be happy. Send me a text. If I don't answer, copy and paste, send it again. I get busy. Don't say I texted you 3 weeks ago, I didn't hear back. If I want you, I copy and paste the same message to you 5 times in 5 hours. I'm after you because I am like, are you guys going to be a little more like, oh, I don't want to bother them? You're not bothering me. The only thing that bothers me is when you don't bother me. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
I just text you. So we're good.
I love it. I love it. See you guys.